And talking of which, such investors buying Manchester United, as we've said, Old Trafford, it's a great lady, but it's not what it used to be. We have got our own railway station. Newton Heath started off as a railway station. There's no excuse for not building with the new technology. We could have a new station, new platform without going over the other side of the embankment. Architects and engineers have shown that. On the other side, we've got the canal, which could have water taxis going to and from Manchester or down towards the Manchester Ship Canal in any direction, carrying fans. Imagine how beautiful Old Trafford could be with a refurb. It doesn't need knocking down. It doesn't need moving. It just needs money spent on it to bring it up to date. We went to Bayern Munich a couple of years ago. They treated us like royalty. And they've got every aspect you can think of. They've got the LED outside of the ground. They can put adverts up on there showing the history of the club. All United's got a shell around it. The United Road and the Munich Tunnel are already built there with foundations. It just needs building up with a new roof. How would the new investors deal with that as well as buying the club at the same time?
Everything you've just said, Steve, is music to my ears. When I was a director of Manchester United for those 3 years, it was transformed. There's no question about that. It was. Those are the facts. Those are the statistics. We had the plans to make it the greatest stadium, not just in the country, but in the world. That was the case. It all materialised. Then, of course, the Glazers came along in 2005, 17 years. The stadium is in a state of disrepair. We've fallen behind. The roof is leaking in parts. The seating needs replacing. But on a grander scale, I mean, personally, I would never move Old Trafford from where it is now. Too many, look, it's the Theatre of Dreams. I don't think you can create another Theatre of Dreams simply by building out of town another monolithic stadium. I really don't think you can. I mean, even the Etihad at Arsenal, it was only a few yards away, as was the Tottenham Stadium. You can't really do what some people have done and complete. You can't relocate Old Trafford. And why would you? Yes, water taxes. Yes, its own railway station. Yes, make it the greatest stadium in the world. I'm a dreamer. That's why I love football. Football is the dream business. For me, the dream is to restore Manchester United to the top of the tree, where in my view it belongs, where the fans deserve the very best. And look, whatever it takes, we must raise the money to do that. It's not easy, Steve, to raise this sort of money. There's very few people on the planet that can write a cheque for £5 billion. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is one, Elon Musk might be another, Jack Ma in China might be another, Bezos of Amazon might be another. There's very few. But we've got to find them. Best to bring a group of very wealthy individuals together, all of the same mind. Share the dream. Share the dream of creating the greatest stadium on the planet for the greatest team on the planet. That's my dream. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I am a dreamer, but dreams can come true with the right foundation work in place.
Of course. I mean, as I say, these are fans' questions, and I don't expect you to answer them. But, if they can be noted upon as and when or if the day comes that these are issues that have bugged fans for many, many years,
There is no question, Steve, about Manchester United that I won't answer. None. I've nothing to hide about, a lot of rubbish, a lot of gossip, a lot of complete downright lies told about myself, just the way it is if you're a high-profile figure in football. I'll tell you anything you want to know. I've nothing to hide, and I'll answer anything.
Well, these are just bullet points of some of the things. Safe standing, the age demographic, and I'm 65 plus, and I look around me, there's a lot of grey hair, a lot of bald heads. The young fans are not getting the opportunity or can't afford to come into Old Trafford. And people have said, in the old days, the kids used to go to the front, the teenagers were in the middle of the Stretford end, and at the back where the seats were, slightly older fans, and again, round the cantilever section. But the Stretford end has been abused by the Glazers for so long. They've sterilised it. They've over-steward, over-security. If you stand up and try and start to sing, it's sit down, shut up. And that's not the way it should be. But on European nights, when they want us and they need us behind them, they let everybody stand up. And the atmospheres are much better. Because, as you know, if you want to sing, you've got to sing wholeheartedly. You can't do it sat down looking behind somebody's head. So things like the safe standing for the whole of the lower of the Stretford end, things like the restructure of the away tickets, loyalty pots. I know loyalty. I was one for myself for many years, 20, 30 years. I used to get tickets for every away game. But now they're finding a lot of people are getting what you call chubbed, and that means turned away. There has to be some sort of structure where a percentage of tickets are sold to certain people, and then what's left over can go on open sale to members so that everybody has an opportunity to get an away ticket, not just the same executive boxes, executive people every week, because lads that go to Hong Kong and they go to Israel and they go to all over Europe, they can't get an away ticket to Tottenham away, and it's down the road.
This is a scandal, an absolute scandal. Loyal fans must be repaid with mutual loyalty. Let me answer the first question first about safe standing. Look, I grew up from a 6-year-old standing on terraces, standing, not sitting. I was standing at the baseball ground with my father, season ticket holder, and his father, and all my uncles, all his brothers. They were season ticket holders. I am a traditional football fan. As long as it's safe, as long as no one's caged in, so long as health and safety is paramount, I'm all for safe standing. That would be critical. And as for making sure that your loyal fans are the people who are served first when it comes to ticket allocation, is critical. And, when someone travels the world, comes to every game, then they find they can't get a ticket to go to an English home away game. It's just a nonsense. It's a scandal. There's a lot that I've been critical of about the executive management of my club since I left. I've criticised it a lot. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And you're right. Someone's responsible for sterilising Old Trafford. You've got to blame the people who own it. You've got to blame the people from the top, because from the top, everything trickles down. But I would revamp everything to make sure the fans' interests come first. So long as it's safe, so long as it's proper, so long as it's in everyone's interest, the fans' interest must come first.
Another thing, I once spoke to Martin Edwards about a Manchester and Salford supporters branch, and he said, nah, I'm not having it. And I said, why? He said, because we want to control the supporters from Old Trafford. In other words, they got the coaches, they got the supporters to come to Old Trafford, etc., etc. We couldn't get a ticket unless we went through the club. But I said, yeah, but Manchester and Salford is our base, is our home community supporters. And yet you look at beautiful places like Malta, and you look at lovely places like Finland and Greece and Germany. They've got great Manchester United supporters clubhouses where their fans can go in any day, 7 days a week, day till night time when there's a match on. And yet we can't gather anywhere apart from the pubs which everybody goes to. And I said, why can't you convert one of the warehouses on the car park at the back into a Manchester and Salford Manchester United supporters branch?
Great idea. Great idea.
Do you know what he said?
What?
Manchester City have just shut theirs down and we don't think we'd make money out of it, so it's not happening.
Well, I can more than disagree with that notion. I think your suggestion of one of the one of the warehouses on the back of the Trafford end where the Stretford end is. Yeah, I would. That's a brilliant idea.